Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So before I get the project out for today, today is a demonstration day of a new product that was sent to me by Resiners. It is the preheater. And being that I'm in Florida, I obviously do not need a preheater because my house is warm every day. However, as always, Resiners allows me to give it to you guys as soon as I am done trying it for you, and I'm happy with it and I think it's all good. You guys are going to get it. So if I'm going to be giving this away, there is a link in the description box and all you have to do is enter to win. So here we go again with a new giveaway. It seems like I'm always giving things away. This is awesome, you guys. So they have sent me several things today. So this is the preheater. I've already got it plugged in. I'll show it to you in a minute. So it comes with the base, the lid, and there's a little insert that goes in the bottom where you put your bottles. We'll go over a few things. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, so I don't want to like go crazy in depth. Now, the only thing I was confused about, and I will tell you, everything is in Celsius, and I was trying to figure out how to change it. I thought it was changing from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and I couldn't get it to go up. So it doesn't. Everything is in Celsius, so don't think you can raise the temperature, because I was like 70 degrees. That's really cold. So that was in Celsius, and I'll show you over there. So it goes up to 158 degrees Fahrenheit and 86 Celsius. Just a standard cord, plug it in. You've got your top cover, your bracket, which goes inside, and then here's your base and your time functions. I'll show you all that over there. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because a lot of you probably already know about this. Shows you how to put your resin in there, and then obviously you're going to wipe it out before. So let's see what it says. Keep away from water sources or open flames. Obviously, these are all normal, everyday things that you should already know. Do not immerse the appliance in water. We know that. Do not exceed the maximum water level indicator. Okay, that does come with the instructions. So you're getting the one I'm using. You're not getting a new one. You're getting one that's used one time. So I'm shipping this to you. So this needs to be a US address. They also sent me the resin because I use large bottles, 1 gallon, 2 gallon bottles of resin. I said, I don't have resin. I've never used your resin. So they sent me this box, which had 6 tiny bottles, so it would fit in here. So we're going to use Resiners resin. If you buy this little set, it also comes with 2 funnels. I didn't know what this was. I had to look it up, but they collapse. So these are called funnels. And then they also came with pipettes, sticks, and a couple of these little tiny silicone stirring sticks. And then they also sent me, let me move this and this. They sent me this huge box of their mixing cups. So their mixing cup package came with a ton of stir sticks, a set of the normal 8-ounce ones, a whole bunch of these small ones. These are not part of the giveaway, guys. These I'm keeping because I use them. And then they sent me these. So these go up to 20-ounce cups. So these are pretty cool. These are a little smaller than the Let's Resin ones, which go to 32 ounces, but this is great when you only need 20 ounces or less. So that all comes into the package with your cups. So let me take you over and I will show you the heater. So this is the little heater. It is so cute. Love the color of their products. Now, the one thing with the lid, it fits only one way. It does not fit any other way. It only fits the one way. So make sure you have it on tight. You can see it's already heating in here. So here's your temperature thing. And if you press this little thermometer, that's the highest temperature it will go to. You can put it down. If you want like a certain temperature, it's already at that temperature, which is why it's beeping at me. So we're going to raise it back up to 70. And here is your time frame. I had it on for 35 minutes. You can raise it and lower it right here. So that's pretty cool. Here's your power button, which I will not turn off right now. So you just open it up. Here's the cute little bottles that they sent. There were 6 of them in this package, and the insert is in there on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and let this heat up, and we're going to mix it and see how well or not well, if we have bubbles or not bubbles. This should really cut down on the bubbles when we're mixing it. So let me go grab the molds and my colors, and we'll get started. I'm so excited to show you this and to give it away. I have so many new molds to show you today. So since they are all very small extras molds, I figured I'm going to pour them all. These are like going to be my blanks. So for me, I'll probably put like a tint of color. I need to return these two to Barbara, so I need to pour them one last time and get a really, really good, since I'm warming my resin, it should really be bubble free at the finish of it. So here's the first one. This is, all of these are now in the eBay store. These are from Into Resin. These are Barbara's. I'm not selling these. This one's from Into Resin. This one, I can't remember where it's from, but I will find the link. But these 4 will be in the eBay store. This is a little cupcake, all crystallized. This is a popsicle and a donut. Then we've got a little crystal turtle, really small. See how big? These are 3 little bears, all the same, all crystallized. These are 2 gorgeous butterflies, 2 different ones, all crystallized. So I will pick a color. I pulled out, for these, we're going to try a pigment paste. I'm not going to paint them or anything. They are dull and shiny, so I want you to see what they look like. Literally just poured. I got these last year, and they were really pretty. So we're going to try a pigment paste. This is Burgundy by Rolio, and then this doesn't give you the shimmer, so I wanted to give you some shimmer, and this is the Wild Ivy by Dianca Pours, and then I wanted to give you just a transparent. So I pulled out the resin dye in yellow. I really wanted gold, but yellow is the closest I can come. And these are the 16 color translucent resin pigments. These will last longer than alcohol ink, so if they have the color in those, I try to use it. One thing I wanted to tell you about the cups that come with Resiners, their ounces are not halves. So you only have 1, 2, no half ounces on the large or the small. So the other ones that typically we get in our other packages, I use a lot more, because if I'm doing like 15 ounces and I need 7.5 and 7.5 or whatever, if I'm doing 5 ounces and I need 2.5, these have the half ounce marks. On here you would have to guess. I'm sure you can do it. So I typically put these kinds aside for when I am doing like 2, 4, 6, or 8 ounces. That way I can use them accurately, and I always keep these for when I'm doing odd numbers. So just a note about the Resiners cup. So I just wanted to make sure I told you that. So I don't really know how much I need to mix, but I'm just gonna take, you know what, I'll do a small, my favorite color, blue, right? We're gonna do blue. And I'm only going to tint it so we could see something other than clear, and all the crystal ones, and then these 3 obviously are going to be these colors. So let me figure out how much resin, and I'm going to get it out of the heater. So the heater came to temperature, and it's now just holding the temperature there until I get over there to it. So I did turn the time back up so it keeps it warm. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it out, and we'll get it mixed and see how less bubbles it is, if it's nice and thin. So I'm kind of excited to try this, since I really won't have another chance to try it. So let me go grab that. I just poured 2 of each bottle in here, so I didn't even really measure it. Hopefully they were accurate. And it is very watery, which is going to make so many less bubbles. So I'm sure I'm going to have extras now that I didn't even measure it. I have like 14 something ounces in here, and I was only going to do 10. So now I got to go grab another mold. But look at how clear that is, you guys. That is amazing. What I almost want to keep it so I can, but my bottles won't fit in there. So I will be giving it away, so don't worry. But I still have this on the AI mode for 4 minutes because I still want to thoroughly mix it. But the bubbles in here are non-existent with warmed resin. So all of you that live in those colder states or countries or wherever you're at, this is a great tool. If I was living in a cold state, I would definitely be keeping this because this is crystal clear. I almost don't even need to put this in the vacuum chamber. That's how clear it is. But when I hand mix it, I don't know. I'm going to probably mix in bubbles. I don't know if I would or not, but I'm still going to vacuum it because I need perfect casts for these small ones so I can make a mold myself. So I'm going to put it in the vacuum chamber, but honestly, if you don't have a vacuum chamber, get yourself a warmer. Look, I mean, you're seeing it just like I am. Just make sure you're not pulling this up out of the resin as normal. You want to keep it submerged if you can. And I did use the big one, like I said. I just dumped 2 bottles of each. Be careful when you pull these out. I still have 1 bottle of each. Make sure you wipe all the water off of that. You do not want any water dripping into your resin. The other thing I noticed is the bottom bulged out because I didn't open these bottles. I just took them from the package and put them in there, and the warmth expanded them. So I need to pop that seal so these don't bust open, but all of them did the same thing. So I've got a minute and a half left. Uh-oh. It's too warm for the cup. Oh my gosh, you guys. It just melted my cup. I need to put this in another cup. Give me a minute. Well, that's pretty scary because if that would have busted on me, it would have gone everywhere. And I will tell you, there are fumes that I do smell with this warm resin. It's very, I'm not used to fumes with resin, and it's kind of strong. So if you are sensitive to smells, this has a smell. It's quite strong, actually. I'm very shocked. And I don't know, now I've got a lot of bubbles in here, so I don't know what's going on. You know what's happening? It's flash curing, you guys. That's what's happening. So that's the fumes. So this is a flash cure right in front of your eyes. So I have that temperature set. I need to turn my purifier on. Obviously, do not use it at its highest temperature because this just cured. See all the fumes coming out? I've never had it happen on camera before. So I want to show you that is what is dangerous. So I'm going to turn my ceiling fan on super high. I've got my air purifier on. And that's what's happening. So I need to go and turn that down. Let me see if I have any. Okay, so this is obviously much too hot. And here I'm like, wow, that is so clear. Well, no. I need to let this warm up or cool down a little bit before I do want to pop this seal so these bottles don't break open under pressure. So that was a great example of what not to do. I wonder why they let it go that high if it should not be that high. I don't know anything about this. That's what the fumes were. See how scary it can be? I'm just going to let it go in front of you so you see what a flash cure is. You guys have all asked me, and I told you that you would know when you saw it. This is what it is. So I am going to, it's solid as a rock. I'm going to go ahead and take this outside to get the fumes out of my house. So I'm rereading this. Please read your instructions. It tells you right here. When heating epoxy resin or silicone rubber, the temperature should not exceed 50 degrees Celsius. Why on earth, resiners, are you allowing this to get to 70 degrees Celsius then? That is the only part of this entire book that I did not read because I assumed, please don't assume anything, you guys, because that is so dangerous. Those fumes were so bad. So here is my temperature gauge. I don't understand why they allow it to get to 70 degrees Celsius. So this is at 45. You know what? We're going to try it. We're going to try this again. And we're going to mix this one. I'm not going to have enough to do the whole project, but that's okay. I have other resin. I don't understand it. I don't get why they would allow that machine to get that hot when your temperature should not be that hot. That just doesn't make sense to me. Let's start this over again, you guys. I'm kind of glad that happened. So you guys could see what happened. Now, I think this, hang on, let me get a different mixer. I need to charge that one. I melted one of my mixers. I just threw it away because it melted in that heat. All right, let's start this over again. 4 minutes. I did not expect to put a show on for you guys. I'm like, why is that fuming? Because I don't ever smell resin when I'm mixing resin. But then again, I've never mixed their resin before. So I didn't smell anything until it started overheating. And then, of course, that's what I was smelling. So please, 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 I put that outside so it didn't put fumes in my house. So, yeah, there's that. All right, I have, I don't know, 7 ounces here. So we'll do 2 ornaments, and then I'll use the rest for some of those extras. So again, it is still clear. A little less clear than it was that hot, but please don't, please, please, please do not set it. If I was you, I would set it at 48 degrees Celsius, not even near 70. So you don't have that happen by accident. Because that is, yeah, that's not a good accident. All right, I've got 2.5 minutes left. As soon as this is done, I'm going to split it and we'll get to mixing colors in together. So I took the temperature of it as I stopped stirring because I feel like it's mixed together, which means the chemical reaction is happening. So I'm going to quickly mix these colors and hope this doesn't happen again. So you guys do not heat your resin that hot, because especially when you're putting A and B together, then you've got that chemical reaction. So you know what? I'm not even going to put this in the vacuum chamber. I am literally going to pour this in my molds because I'm so afraid it's going to cure in my cup again. It's very watery. I don't think I need the vacuum chamber, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's, I need napkins so I can move these around when they're poured. Here, there's one. I'll do the tree, but I feel like I'm in a rush now. I am still going to spritz it with a little alcohol. I didn't properly, so I feel like I'm in a rush. So I don't want to do something wrong. So I'm going to get that pigment paste off my stick so we don't have any unmixed. It's kind of on my side, but being 52 degrees, it's very, 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 very watery. But again, it's oh, I didn't need 3 ounces. Okay, so I will be making some extras with some of this if I have time. It only took about 2.5. No, 1.5. It took 1.5 ounces. Oh my goodness. Okay. That is like a water. I'm going to try my hardest. So if it took 1.5, that means I only need 1.5. This was my extra one, and we'll do 1.5. I might be able to get all 3 of the ornaments out of it anyway, if I can work fast enough. All right, here's the tree. Let's do the powder. This one is going to be the green for the tree. I am almost so happy that that happened, because I cannot imagine you guys not knowing, because I didn't know, although it is in print, so make sure you read every detail of their books on any equipment. This is really hot in my hand, but it wasn't 50 degrees, I don't think, when I poured it together. I think it's the reaction we're getting. So I'm going to, I probably don't even need to spritz these, but, and I'm sure that that mica powder dissolved on its own. I just want to get it in the mold so we don't waste some more resin. That's good. 1.5. Perfect. And then we'll do the yellow. And then I'll have to do something with that red. I don't want to use the red on my little extras because I want to be able to see through them so I could check for bubbles before I make a mold out of it. So if I'm making a mold, I need to be able to make sure there's no imperfections in the pour. This is yellow. Is it open? No, it is not. Grab a thumbtack. I'm going to squirt a whole bunch of yellow. I'd like it really deep if possible. Like that. Man, this is hot. This is probably going to cure so fast now because of how hot it is already. I'm so inexperienced with hot resin, with warmed up resin. I'm sure a lot of you people already use heaters and you're probably like screaming through your TV, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But I have a zero experience with having to heat resin. Get that out, this little black thing in there. Come on. There we go. Zero experience with heating resin, you guys. All right. I have, what can I do with the rest? Let me find a mold, and if it cures, it cures. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to rush anymore for some extras. I have 1 and almost 2 ounces. What can I pour with 2 ounces? This is one of my molds from my eBay store. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, this one's gone. That one's done. They all are. Never mind. They all flash cured. They're cured in the cup, so it's like gel. Too warm. So I'm glad I got those done, and those might not even be. This one is completely gelled up. So yeah, I'm going to get those outside. They're not smelling too good. And I'm going to grab some more resin so we can finish what we started. I'm mixing up 4 more ounces as I'm sitting here thinking over in my head what in the world I was thinking. So if I would have stopped and thought logically, which I did not do, because I just assumed, I don't know, you already know what I assumed. But if I was to think logically, when we do blooms with 4-hour fast cure, we wait for the resin to heat to 33 degrees Celsius. If we use the 1-to-1 epoxy by Let's Resin, we wait for that one to reach 38 to 42 degrees Celsius, which is very hot. I didn't even dawn on me how hot 50 degrees would be, and then pouring them together. So stop and think, especially if you win this, because now my hand has been on this thing. And I'm glad it happened because it could have happened to you and it could have been worse. But I would not heat it past 30 degrees, maybe? What I don't know. I don't know Celsius well enough, but my room temperature all year round is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius, but if you do the math and you do the calculation, whatever it is Celsius, that's about what you're looking for. Maybe a little tiny bit warmer, because why would you want your resin that hot? But I didn't stop and think. I just figured, oh, it's a warmer. Let's warm it nice and hot. I wasn't even thinking, guys. So here's this one's done. So I didn't have any more bottles that fit in that warmer, so I did not warm this one. This is just my normal 1-to-1 Let's Resin brand epoxy. But that's what I was thinking as I'm stirring this. I wanted to tell you what I was thinking and why I didn't even think about it. So please be very careful about the temperature that you choose your epoxy to warm to, because it really does not need to be that warm. Because look what happened. I didn't have any time to work with it. I literally had minutes to work with it. So I would say warm it the least amount possible, just so you can use it in your, if your room is cold, maybe a little bit warmer, because when you do pour it out, it's going to cool down again. But gosh, if I thought about redoing the video, But I'm like, you know what? They need to know. You guys needed to know. You needed to see that. Especially if you're brand new to resin. Don't let it scare you. Literally, that was the worst flash cure I've ever had in 3 years. So it's not a normal thing. But it just heated too fast, and it was a lot of resin in that cup, so it even got hotter quicker. This is the blue. All right, so we're going to get over that. I'm going to debubble this and carry on normally my normal daily routine with what I know. So I'm sticking with what I know, you guys. I'm so glad I live in Florida now and I don't have to worry about that.
Glitz and glitter lighting up the night, painting dreams with a shimmer so bright, rhinestones dancing, catching every eye. This is my moment, gonna touch the sky. Dipped in gold with a stroke of flare, diamond shine in the middle.
I do want to show you one thing that you guys all told me and I did not know, and I did several videos before I got to read comments because I'm quite far ahead of you in real life. On these molds from Let's Resin, these snowflake molds, I had absolutely no idea that these little pieces here that you pull out, I guess you cut them out maybe, these pieces go in the hole maker and that makes the hole. I did not know that. So thank you for telling me. There's 4 of them in the 6 set that have them. So I guess you cut the piece out, pop it through that hole maker, because I kept drilling the hole. And I did it in several videos. So you guys probably think I'm not listening to you, but I am listening to you. I'm just way far ahead of you, and I already had several videos done prior to getting those comments. So these are the hole makers if you get the Let's Resin set of 6 snowflakes. All right, oh, I didn't grab the resin. I've got the resin right here. I'm just really gonna pour it this color, and I'm really not doing anything because I just need, see, it's crystal clear. I just need a good casting so I can make my own mold, but I wanted you to see a little bit of color on the unmolding. These don't even, I don't really like pouring these quite as thick. I'm going to just to make the mold. But I like these really nice and thin because they make a nicer magnet when they're thin. So I'm just going to do that. And let me see, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to do all these first just to make sure I have enough. So this is, you'll probably see it all. I only need drippings really, not a whole lot. This is the butterflies. There we go. There we go. All right. These are very thin. I just want to make sure I get a good casting. So if I see any bubbles, I can see them through the resin. So if you're trying to mold something from a casting, from a mold, like me, make sure you can see through there and pop any bubbles that are on the surface. Dig them out if you need to, not dig them out. You know what I'm talking about. So I just want a good solid casting without any issues. These are so small, but they're great for extra drips. That's why I made them. So for like, you don't know what to do with your drippings, these are going to be cute and sparkly, and they don't take very much. So you don't have to have like 5,000 of those tiny 2-drop butterflies sitting around anymore. You can have sparkling things sitting around. This is a little donut. I don't want to go too high because it's got a little hole in the center. Oh, I went too high. I'll have to get some of that out. Little turtle guy. Not sure I'll have enough of the bundt cakes, but that's okay. I don't need all of them. Little turtle. And then 3 little bears. And that alcohol is basically just making sure bubbles don't form in all those facets. Just need a couple of drips for these. Not a whole lot. Hopefully, these ornaments are going to look okay curing that fast. I might have to redo them. I don't know. I have no idea if it cures too fast, if it ruins a piece. I've never cured a piece that fast before with that hot of resin. So I really honestly have no clue what they're going to look like. And if I have to redo them, I will. All right, so I do have enough for these. Let's get these done. I want for sure the little bundt cakes, and I'm sure I have enough for all of them, but I want to make sure I have the 3 that I really want. Not sure that I need that little chocolate piece, but I'll make it if I have enough. There we go. Yeah, I should have enough for everything. Cute. Plus some. Almost perfect. Look at that. I have just a little bit left. And I think I could top a couple of these off. That one looks good. Just a couple drops because it's going to shrink. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Well, no, I don't have these cut out, so I'm not going to make one of those quite yet. Let me just pull out. Let's do this crystal butterfly, because since they won't sell this, I will check again to make sure that they're not selling it, but this was from a mystery box, and I cannot find links to mystery box molds. So I don't know. I'll probably, if they're not selling it, I'll probably put it in my store, just for the few of you who do want this crystally butterfly. It's very pretty. I think that's everything. I don't think I could drip into anything else. I'll put this in my giveaway mold. I might be able to put a little more in this one. I do need to dig out with a dotting tool that little piece needs to be clipped off, and I don't have my little scissors in here. So I have a couple little pieces in there that need trimmed. I just want to get the bubbles out in all the facets so I get a good casting. Let's get them out of there, let them rise to the top, and then we will pop them. Oh yeah, all those little tiny edge ones. Even if you're pouring it for whatever, do the same thing. Put your little dotting tool in there and get those bubbles out. And then you can just take your spritz bottle and pop them. This one, I don't know if I see anything. The alcohol did its job. Don't really see anything in there. The alcohol pretty much went into all those facets for me first and got anything out. I don't see anything, just those butterflies were the first ones. Those look good. That one's a little over full, so I need to get some out. I don't need it over full because if you're trying to make a mold, you don't want to trim it first, or you're going to see those trim lines. So we want a good sides on that piece, so I don't have to trim it and get trim marks on there. Let's get that one popped. I do see bubbles at the bottom of this one. I don't know if I sprayed it or not. I thought I did. I'm just getting them to rise. So if you're making these castings, again, it's best to do it in clear, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of color. So, but I can still see through it, so it's not a big deal. But if you do it in clear, you will be able to see perfectly and see what bubbles need to come out of there before you actually make a mold, because you don't want to waste your silicone. Silicone is not cheap either. I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and let everything cure. Pop all those bubbles. Just make sure everything's good. Let me see these. Yeah, they're pretty much okay. They're not flash cured or anything, so they're still cured. Well, this one is definitely finished. But I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to get everything cured at the same time, and we'll finish them together. everything's ready to unmold, but I got some happy mail today from Fanny. She sent me a whole bunch of stuff. So here's a little mold. This is so similar to the handmade one that I just did, but mine is like 10 times bigger. But this is super cute. It's going to go like that. But it is so similar. That is so funny. It's just a baby version. And then she sent me these little embellishments, all little jewels enveloped in gold. So those are going to be cute. She sent me a set of four of these little knife pens. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to keep these by my desk here where I keep all my knives. She sent me some more colors. She sent me, where is it? This one already, which is so similar to my absolute favorite one that Barbara sent me. So she got this on Temu and Barbara spent a fortune. Sorry, Barbara. But these are 3 more colors in the red family. So that's nice. These came out of the package, but that's okay. They don't need to be in the package. But these are great for my little fellas. Little ice cream bars that have bite out of them. A whole bunch of those. So we'll put those away. And then 2 sets of rhinestone kits. Look at this one. I meant to take this out too, and I didn't. This one comes with reds, black, clear, and pearls. So pretty. I love these pearly ones. I don't have red like that. I do have some blacks and whites, but I really needed these too, so that's awesome. And then she sent this package, which have your pearlescent pearls. These are both pearlescent, like AB rhinestones. These are really pretty. I don't have that color. It's like a caramel color. Some golds. I do have some of those, but I love them. Thank you so much, Fanny. You're always thinking about me and you're always shopping. I would love to do that all the time. Thank you so much, Fanny. All right, you guys, let me move these out of the way and we will continue to unmold now. I do see some, let me close my cabinet door, some bubbles in this one because it heated too fast, but we'll get the idea. I don't know that I'm going to re-pour them. Here is the blue heart. Oh, that is so pretty. I don't think I've poured this in transparent yet. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So Barbara, you can have your mold back now that I have a perfect cast. Oh, that is so nice. That is beautiful. All right, and this was her other mold. And this is just that little chocolate piece. Let me make sure I don't have no bubbles anywhere. That one's good, not a bubble in sight. There's a little bundt cake. That one looks good. That is perfect. Here's the other bundt cake. I'm not going to be decorating all these up for you guys today, as you know. And then a donut. Do I have a bubble? Oh no, that's something on the bottom. Not going to affect anything. So yay, I'm going to hand those over to Don. Barbara, you get your molds back. All right, this is that crystal butterfly that I needed perfect. And it is, I don't see anything that would hinder anything. So that is great. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. All right, here is the little turtle. These ones are already available. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So sparkly. That is the cutest little thing. So that's the turtle. Here is the popsicle. Little piece there. Let me get a piece of white underneath. Or is this gonna, well, that's not gonna work. That's not really white. There we go. That's a little popsicle, so tiny. Just put a little teeny tiny magnet on there and you can have a little magnet. So that's the popsicle. Here's the cupcake. That is so cute. Aren't they adorbs? The little cupcake and the donut. I did scoop just a little bit out so I would have the hole in there for the donut. That is so cute. Just a couple drips is all you need. You can even make pendants out of those. Never thought of that. All right, here's the bears. Just need a little bit of trim, but that came out perfect. Absolutely perfect. And 2 more. Love them. Let's make sure they're perfect. And they look to be perfect. No bubbles anywhere. Here are the butterflies. Here's the one. That is so pretty. Making sure there's no bubbles. I don't see any. That came out really nice. Whoops. And here is the second one. This one I might have to redo to cast it, just in case our originals go bad for whatever reason. I need a good casting. Let me see. Yeah, I got a couple bubbles there. So that one is not going, so I will go ahead and turn this into a magnet or something and send that off in somebody's order. All right, let's see. So I already know this one needs to be, I hope it didn't ruin my molds being so hot. No, it didn't. It's got some bubbles, like I said, cured way too fast. All of that is bubbles in the matte part. But look at the, you don't need, can you see? It's hard to see. You don't need to like be painting on these because the matte and the shiny, you could tell exactly what it is. So that is really pretty. I won't toss it or anything. It's just going to go free to somebody, but definitely cannot sell that because of all those bubbles, because it got hot too fast. So unfortunately. Ooh, that looks nice. That one came out really, oh, you don't need you don't need paper behind that one. That came out really nice. So that one didn't heat up too fast. I know that one did because it was last, I think, to be poured. But that came out gorgeous. Let's see if the mica powder one worked. Well, it's got micro bubbles, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible. I won't sell it, but it will be a giveaway. You can even highlight some of these things on here. Maybe I will do that. And maybe I will do that on here a little bit. This one, not really, because it's transparent. So that one's not going to get done. The rest are good. The rest I need to stay just as they are. So let me just get some paint markers out. I'll quick do that and I'll show you the end. All right, I just took a gold pen and I just highlighted some of it. That's all I did. It doesn't really need anything else. Let me grab some strings for those. We have a red one for the red. And I have green for the green. Whoops, that one doesn't. Oh no, it's not going to fit. Oh, I got it. Just got to push. The red, then I have a green. I could open it up with a drill too if I need to. Oh, that one went right in. Then I have a gold for the gold. Even though this one is not perfect. Once it's on a Christmas tree, you will never see the bubbles again. That's it, you guys. That is today's video. I hope I brought attention to your eyes. I did keep this. We put it outside and now it's completely cured. So it puffed out over the thing. All the fumes were outside mostly, except the ones that tipped me off. It was starting to flash cure. Totally melted to the plastic. I can't even get this out of there. So please be very careful. Be super, super careful that does not happen to you, because it could have been worse. But it wasn't. So I hope you learned something. If you want to win that warmer and you promise to not heat your resin too hot, please click the link in the description box to enter that giveaway. It will be 1 week, then I will give it away. So I will let the video go for a whole week before I pick the winner. All right, guys, I'll get you guys some pictures. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes, a radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story her colors tell. Faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. Sparkly streams, her laughter flows like sunlit beams. With each stroke her spirit sings, a masterpiece of golden wings. She sprinkles joy like morning dew, in every shade a promise new. A life of love, a life of grace, in her art we see his face.